Hi Kiran, welcome to Finrep's podcast. We cover the lives of SEC reporting professionals. We would love for you to walk us through how you ended up into SEC reporting and what do you currently do.
Hi, Gana. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm glad I could do something like this. So my journey in SEC reporting started in 2015. I cleared my uh, chartered accountancy. I ended up in securing a job at TPMG where I was in the US GAAP auditing side. That gave me certain interest in CPA and the US GAAP accounting and understanding the financial statements. So I completed my US CPA in around 2018, post which I joined NetApp, where I took up the role in the technical accounting and SEC team. So that basically started my journey in the SEC reporting and the technical accounting field.
Got it. And what is that people misunderstand the most about these SEC reporting teams? Can you walk us through what does a life of SEC reporting person look like?
I would say the life of SEC reporting person is it's like a roller coaster. I would say there are a lot of ups and downs. You enjoy learning a lot of new things. Plus, it comes with its own challenges because you have to interact with cross-functional teams here. On a day-to-day basis, we work with teams like operations, legal, FP&A, investor relations. So there are a lot of stakeholders involved. SEC team starts with getting the data from basically from the basic BU owners and then consolidating it and then finalizing it and then finally reporting it with the SEC. So you have to be always hands on with whatever the new guidances are, whatever SEC requirements are. You have to be hands on with the FASB guidances. You have to be hands on with the SEC comment letters and understanding everything. So yeah, that's about it.
Got it. What does an end to end filing look like? Can you walk us through some of these steps? You did mention that we get a lot of data from business owners, different functional teams to go for. Uh, can you talk about it in detail? How does this complete process look like?
So basically, the SEC team steps in after the close, I would say. So the action or the firefighting starts just after the close. So we have quarter closes. Post quarter closes, we generally start getting the data, consolidating the data from various teams, and then we start putting in the data in the precedented reports, roll forwarding the previous 10K or the 10Q, and then putting in the data, consolidating the data, verifying the data, reaching out to the business owners whenever required. Excuse me. Post which we kind of prepare the disclosures and the MD&A sections, the risk factors, and the various other sections in a 10K or a 10Q. We verify the data. Whenever there is a requirement, we generally have to benchmark the data against the peer companies, and if there is a new pronouncement, we have to incorporate that. Uh, Post which we need to get it signed through the legal and the auditors, and then it goes for XBRL tagging and then for the filing.
Got it. In your career, did you ever end up navigating a major restatement or a late filing or a comment letter? Is there some learning from that experience that you could share with the broader team?
I have worked with a large accelerated filer mostly, which was NetApp. It was a very matured company. So luckily we did not have any late filings. Uh, SEC comment letters, yes, I have received few SEC comment letters in my current companies. Those were mostly relating to segment reporting and areas like goodwill impairment. And SEC, I see the favorite topics for SEC is when you have a non-GAAP disclosure. right? So those are the favorite topics of SEC when they have comment letters coming in.
Got it. And when a new SEC disclosure requirement arises, right? Perhaps something related to cybersecurity risks or AI risks that has been more recent to go for, or any emerging topics like
Mhm.
ESG. What is like a typical process of drafting and integrating this disclosure into the current company filings?
Um, I remember I worked on the AC 842 disclosure, which was very recent when I joined NetApp.
This is for
This is for
leases, right?
leases, yes. So it came up in 2019, as far as I remember, and I joined the company recently. So we have to draft the entire disclosure from the scratch. So the first step was to look for peer companies who has done it. Basically, we search for companies who are very new. So or the I mean, yeah, the new companies generally help us better. Or we just search for peer companies like our competitors, and then we benchmark our disclosure against their disclosure. Understand what are the requirements. The next step is we generally check out the disclosure checklist, and then compare our and then see whether our disclosure is meeting all the requirements of the disclosure checklist. Then again, the next step is going to the auditors, talking to the various committees which are there, talking to the auditors, and then finalizing the disclosure. That's generally the step-by-step process.
Got it. What are the kind of different tools that you would have relied for preparing and managing these filings? And given that you have experience across Big Four and multi public companies, could you help us talk about the different tools that would have come across?
Yep. So in NetApp, we were using a tool which was called Active Disclosure, a very, very hands-on tool. Uh, it solved our end-to-end filing requirement. It started with we putting in all the data in the tool. So it was basically breaking up all the footnotes and the basic financial statement and the different sections of the case and the Qs. Our job was to basically input the data there, and then it used to do the entire work, like producing the final report, producing the black lines, and then all the review comments used to be incorporated there. Audit trials, everything was incorporated there. And then it also helped us with the XBR tagging and the final filing. So that was one tool which I've used. I have used little bit of Workiva as well. Again, another very, very popular and a hands-on tool for the reporting purpose.
Got it. Anything for research that you would have used in your past experience?
For research, as of now, we are using the public AI tool, which is ChatGPT. But yeah, I would definitely love to have something which can solve this for us.
Got it. Are there any experiments that you and your team have been doing around automation, AI, and disclosure management products?
Um, we are definitely looking for something relating to disclosure management, because that's the biggest chunk or the pain point which every SEC team has to go through. So again, if we can get something relating to disclosure checklist, disclosure management, so that would be something really helpful.
Got it. I hear you brought this point about a non-GAAP disclosure and SEC being really after it for the companies which have a non-GAAP disclosure. Uh, can you help us understand about what trends are you actually seeing in the SEC comment letters more recently? No. Uh, and Kiran, in your job, how do you end up approaching like these disclosures like MDNA, non-GAAP or segment reporting, especially when the guidance feels gray?
Uh, if the guidance feels gray, the next thing which we go to is the disclosure checklist. So, the Big Four disclosure checklist again are very, very helpful in guiding you through the process. as to what is the requirement for the disclosure. The next step is again benchmarking. So those are the steps we follow whenever the guidance feels late, and of course discussing within the team and the committees generally help.
Got it. And how do you help your team prep if you could already suspect an SEC comment letter coming for your company? What does that preparation or the response process look like?
Yeah, yeah, good, good, and objectives.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Basis your SEC reporting experience, what has been your most difficult filing and what actually made it very challenging?
Yeah. So I've worked briefly for a company called Near Intelligence, which had recently gone public. Uh, so there, it was really challenging because the company has recently gone public. There were no prior period items. Nothing was formalized. There were no proper documents, work papers, nothing as such available. And also, the biggest challenge was there was no specific tools which we are using, or a consolidation tool which we are using to basically consolidate the 10K or the Q. We were filing for the queue, and the biggest challenge was some of the parts of the queue was in a word format, somewhere in the excel format, and then we had to reach out to the printers to basically do the xbrl tagging and filing it, right? So we were actually using a third party for doing it during then. And the biggest challenge was during the last minute. The XBRL team reached out saying that they could not tag one of the debt related disclosure. So the challenge for us during that time was, whether to delay the filing or to file it without the tag. So we actually reached out to the legal team, reached out to the advisors, and they reached out to the SEC team, and the SEC uh, allowed us to file it without the XBRL tag. And then we filed another one with the XBRL tag. So that basically helped us. I mean, being prompt during that time really helped us. But yeah, these are the challenges which generally come up when you don't have a proper tool or a proper in-house uh, team doing it. So yeah, those are the challenges which you generally face when you have multiple stakeholders involved.
So, what I am understanding is if there's not a very strong historical precedent of filing, it actually becomes a lot more work for the SEC reporting team compared to where companies are mature and it's actually steady state.
Yeah.
Interesting. What are these kind of practices that you would want to inform to junior SEC reporting folks, uh, which would have made a massive difference in your own accuracy and the speed in which you go through these reporting cycles?
The first step I would say, from my experiences, I started with auditing the 10Ks or the Qs, right? So that basically gave me idea as to how the numbers were flowing within the financial statement, how how were everything, what was the internal link between the numbers, how were the numbers linked to each of the work papers. So I feel that understanding those things really help. So for the juniors, I would say the starting point is always going through the Q or the K, not just the section which you would be working on. You need to understand the entire flow of the financial statement. Um so yeah, being hands on with, now that we have so many tools coming in, we have AI which is helping us. So understanding all those nuances which are there, which can actually reduce your work plus make you more efficient, bringing those into practice, I think those would really help.
Got it. What what is that one thing you wish the non-reporting teams like an FP&A or executive and management teams would understand better about what does an SEC reporting team do?
uh, I think the biggest challenge is getting inputs. So, and the biggest challenge again is the timelines which we follow, right? So we have hard timelines. uh, the 45 days, 60 days. So providing timely inputs and helping us, with good quality inputs generally would help SEC team. So that's a message for all the other teams, that we have hard timelines, and we generally burn the midnight oils during that time.
Got it. We have a lot of our viewers who want to get into SEC reporting teams. Do credentials like CPA, CMA, and others, have you observed them make a very significant difference in the career progression in this
A
space?
100%, 100%, I would say. So generally, the CPA, once you get into CPA, you understand the basic US GAAP, the basis nuances which are there in US GAAP versus your basic accounting versus your Ind AS versus your IFRS. So you understand the difference, and you understand how to apply those things in your day to day job. You understand how to go through the FASB guidance and understand how to apply those in your in the work which you are doing, right? So definitely being a CPA would definitely help in this.
Got it. And what advice would you have for people very early in their careers wanting to become SEC reporting leads, right? What are the things that they should focus on? How should they get better at what they are doing? Any advice for these young folks in the industry?
Of course, first is love for accounting. Second is going for a professional course, be it CA, CPA, CA, or a CMA. Third is I would say is learning how to read a financial statement, learning how to go through the guidances. Uh, yeah, I think those are the main things which anyone should know before getting into the SSC reporting. And I would say, believe me, it's one of the most interesting field, where again you get to work with so many stakeholders. You are actually the center of whatever is happening within the company, be it a merger, uh, be it be it anything. I mean, you are taking up a new debt, you are issuing new shares, you are like the center of everything whatever is happening, right? And it really feels good that you are doing something which is actually creating a difference. So definitely an interesting field. Yeah, that's my message.
Yeah, very similar experience when we work with different SEC reporting teams. Um, what we have seen is they are the medium of communication of what's happening in the
Yeah.
company to the outside world. So their role is very critical. Everything has to be on point. Uh, how do you stay sharp in terms of just what's happening around in this world, in the SEC reporting space, in the broader finance space? Are there go resources that you lead up to, given that you already have a decade plus experience in this field?
Yes, definitely. So the regular go-to is the SEC newsletters. So again, SEC newsletters, press releases from the enforcement committees. Um, and then the next go-to is the Big Four guidances. So the Big Four, they regularly publish the different guidances. So you can go through them to keep yourself updated. There are a lot of industry specific meetings which keeps on happening. So we have something from Workiva. They generally have regular updates uh, and industry specific updates. The PCOB setups, industry specific updates. So you can attend those. So those are something which I really enjoy attending. AICPA releases few of the updates. So again, that is another source. So yeah, these are a few sources which you can subscribe to generally keep yourself updated.
Got it. What's the weirdest or the funniest footnote or a risk factor that you would have seen,
Uh, for
Kiran? Do you have anything on top of mind?
I do actually, I had the contingency footnote, which I would say was the funniest and the most challenging for me. Uh, so the commitment and contingencies again. you generally have to disclose the future commitments of the companies, which generally I had to reach out to multiple stakeholders to understand what were the commitments, future commitments which they had. So we had to generally disclose the next 5 years commitments, which whatever each BU owners were having, and then I had to consolidate the number, and then finally disclose one number, which was basically the commitment which the company had for the next 5 years or so, right? So that was the biggest challenge I had throughout my career at NetApp, where the BU owners were not able to consolidate the data, give me the final numbers. They did not understand what the reporting or the fiscal year commitment amount used, how to calculate that amount. So that was one of the toughest job I have done, I would say.
Got it. No, thanks, Kiran, for doing this. Last bit, if you had to do a 1 minute short elevator pitch to convince somebody to join an SEC reporting team, what would that pitch look like?
Uh, I have to think about it.
Do you want to convince me to join the SEC reporting team? Why should I join the SEC reporting team?
I would say the same thing, that being the center of whatever is happening and then communicating it to the outside world. So you being the medium of whatever is happening within the company, and then how you want to communicate it to the outside world. I think that is something which is really, really interesting about SSM.
Thanks, Kiran, for joining us on the SEC reporting journal. We at Finrep are glad to have you here.
Thank you, Ganan.